Update 2. My GF was raped and became pregnant. I broke up with her after she decided to keep the baby. Original. TLDR. My GF was raped. Wanted to abort. Talked to mother. Decided not to abort. I left her. Update. TLDR. GF calls me. Reveals mum made her not get an abortion because God cares. She wants me back and arranges for abortion she wanted all along. Some of Reddit think I'm a baby killer. I was hoping to post here again after the abortion, still scheduled for 2 weeks time, but I thought I should provide an update on some recent events from a mother from the pits of Satan's rectum. On Saturday, I answered my door and stood face to face with 2 police officers. They asked me if I was who I was, and I replied I was. They then said they were looking for my GF. I called her over, and the police officer said that he needs to have a word with her. The officers then split, one taking the GF to the living room. We let them in, and the other took me into my bedroom. The officer who took me started asking me questions about how long GF had been here, if she had any contact with anyone else, if she had left the house at all, and a few other questions. I answered, and then asked what this was about, but the officer just said they received a report to check in on GF. I asked who reported, and the officer said he couldn't say. After a while, the other officer was done, and they both left. The moment they left, my GF told me that she was outrightly asked if she was in danger, and if I had been hurting her. She was also asked if she was being held against her will. She said no to everything, of course. She said that the police received a call from her mother saying she might be in danger and that I could be abusive her. I was fucking livid. I immediately said I was going to press charges against her. For what? I dunno. Harassment probably? My GF begged me to not and said that it would all just blow over and that she just needs time to calm down. WTF. She sent police to my house to get me arrested. How is that sane thinking? I could lose my job if I was arrested and charged. What the hell is she thinking? I told GF that if the mother does anything like this again, I will definitely press charges. So the GF decides on Sunday to talk to the mum to not do anything like this again. They had a conversation for about 2 minutes, then I start hearing sobs. Immediately, I walked into the room, saw my GF was crying, still holding the phone against her ear. I plucked the phone from her hand and held her for a bit as I heard hello from the phone. Then I put it on me and said you're a disgrace of a mother and hung up. Then I held the GF for what felt like an hour before we started talking. Apparently, the mother was telling GF how, if she continues with the abortion, she will never see the mother again, or her brother, or her deceased father, who is in heaven, even though he died a drink violent alcoholic who beat GF. But hey, repent your sins at death, am I right? Because GF would be going to damnation. I told GF that if she was going to hell, then she should save me a seat, and we'd be nice and toasty together. I love her smile. What do you think, if anything, should I do about the mother? No doubt my words to her will have some reactions. Response to some people from previous threads and PMs after thread was locked. 1. Abortion was never an option. GF was adamant she wanted to raise the baby, influenced by her mother. And if you suggest adoption anyway, then you truly do not understand just how taxing a normal pregnancy is, let alone one dipped in a beautiful cocktail of rape depression. 2. You can believe my GF cheated on me, if that makes you feel better about your lives, I suppose. Just FYI, the pictures and roommate's report showed she had a bloodied nose, black eyes, cuts and bruises against her arms, hands, and knees, torn coat and top, bruises around her neck. Cheating, right? Edit. 3. My GF and I are still going to therapy about all of this. My 26F husband, 31M, cheated at his bachelor party. I don't know what to do. We got married in December and things were perfect. We've been together since I was 23. His friend is getting married, and I noticed one of his other friends give my husband a funny look when talking about the new bachelor party, like raising his eyebrows and laughing. My husband did not react and ignored him, but I knew something was up. We allow each other on our phones, so he was sleeping one night. I was awake. I saw it and got tempted. Went through messages and pictures. I saw a few things in his photos in the hidden album. He didn't really hide it too well, but we don't go on each other's phones, so he probably thought he was fine. I saw a video and a couple of pictures of a girl blowing my husband. It was fucking disgusting. He actually bought me a necklace. When he came back, just realized he probably felt guilty or something. I read through his messages and saw his friends mentioning the party while planning the new one. He apparently snorted coke off some girls' boobs too. My husband was telling them to forget about it, and it was a long time ago, and he was just having fun for one night, and it would never happen again, and he's committed to our marriage. He is so full of shit. And I got pregnant on a honeymoon. I don't know what to do. How do I bring it up? What do I say? I feel so sick and dizzy ever since I found out. And I was at home, having a quiet tea party with my friends, opening up presents, and talking about house decor. I feel so fucked over. I can't believe he would do this to me. Update, my wife, 27F, doesn't approve of my brother's new so. Do I, 27M, have a say in my brother's love life? Original post. This is a short update, and probably a frustrating one, since it won't have a satisfying closure. My wife took back the demand the next morning. She apologized to me and said it was probably an extreme reaction to seeing her bully. We talked about what happened in HS and the next steps. Earlier in the week, we talked to my brother. We were frank and to the point. Nuso was a bully to my wife when they were in high school. My wife forgives her, but does not forget. If my brother and her are pursuing a serious relationship, that is fine by us, and we won't get in the way, but also won't be around if she's there at a social event. We will see how it goes for big family events like Thanksgiving and a Christmas. If Nuso is truly remorseful and wants to apologize, she's open to that. My brother was mildly shocked, but seemed to empathize with my wife. So far she's been great to him, and was seemingly a good person. He said he needed some time to know what to do with this info. Likely he wants to find out if Nuso is remorseful, because he definitely does not want to be in a relationship who is secretly a bully, or is duplicitous about it. The talk ended in good terms, so we'll see what happens going forward, but I'm at peace knowing we did the mature thing. Thanks everyone for the advice. Peace. Some people were asking what did the bully do to my wife. I'm not gonna go into detail about it. The purpose of the original post was to ask if we could interfere in my brother's love life, which was a resounding no, not to trauma dump my wife's personal struggles to internet strangers. My M26, pregnant girlfriend. F23, reached out to my dad, who I haven't spoken to in 3 years, after I said no. I stopped talking to my family 3 years ago in an attempt to take back control of my life. Growing up was very interesting. I come from a very wealthy family, but my dad was such a pain in the ass, and up until I was 23, I felt like was drowning because of his controlling behavior. So I cut him off, and I haven't said a single word to him for 3 years. My girlfriend and I have been together for 6 years. I got laid off, and even though I found a new job, the pay sucks. Pay is not good, and I've been trying to find something that would use my degree this time around. We were willing to relocate, and I got a job interview in Philly. Very good job, but I didn't think I was going to get the job due to lack of experience, but I did. I was going to tell my girlfriend this later on in the day. She's been trying to get me to talk to my dad about a job offer getting a loan until I can find another job. I've said no countless of times. She also wanted me gain access of my trust fund, but I do not want to. In order to do that, I have to speak to my dad, which I do not want to do. She doesn't get why I cannot. I'm telling you, once you go to my dad for something, he will make you feel like the smallest person in his life, and it was the worst feeling. Turns out my girlfriend went to him. I saw a missed call from my dad and a text message when I woke up. Message reads, so I have to hear from your girlfriend that you're having a child? How nice. My door's still open, but you're the one that closed it. I asked my girlfriend what was he talking about, and she said she briefly spoke to him. She got his number from one of his business cards and updated him on my life. I told her I didn't want to speak to him. What made her think I wanted her to? It was out of line what she did, and I'll let her know that. I told her about the job at that moment, and she's been trying to make it up to me ever since. I'm mad. I really am. I understand the spot I was in, but still. She might not get it, but it didn't give her the right to go behind my back like that. What's the best way to go about this? IF35 just married M40 husband this month found wig, makeup, lashes, bras, stockings, dresses and dildos in the closet while cleaning. Need advice. Got married in front of closest family and friends earlier this month. Still on a high from the beautiful day. Husband made plans to do a bachelor party. He's the best man in New York and is gone from Tuesday Sunday. Our apartment is in a bit of disarray due to a bunch of wedding activity, so I decided to do a good organizational cleaning while he was away. While cleaning the closet, I found a gym bag that was extremely heavy. Not thinking anything, I opened it up to start throwing stuff out and found a bag full of XL women's bras, dresses, makeup, foundation, eyeshadow, lipstick etc, stockings, magnetic lashes and dildos. Lube almost finished. He's about to have a full bachelor weekend hosting as best man. I'm at a loss for words and don't know how to feel or how to respond. What should I do from here? Should I wait until he comes back, and how can I approach this and wait a couple days while maintaining my own sanity? TLDR, just married. Found husband's cross-dressing costumes and makeup and sex toys while cleaning. He's in New York as best man for bachelor, and I don't want to stir anything up. What do I do from here? I'm at a loss for words and feel extremely betrayed. I, 30F, am scarred by hearing so much about my fiance's, 30F, past sex life because we have issues with sex. Deleted. My, 27F, husband, 23M, wants to be a house husband without the work. My, 27F, husband, 23M, wants to be a house husband without the work. Me and my husband have been married for 12 years. It has had its issues but nothing we could handle. Recently he retired from the Navy, and I'm still active duty. He asked for a week, just to relax and unwind for the 4 years of stress he's had, because of the medical problems the Navy gave him. That made sense to me. That same week I started college courses again, and was highly stressed from being the only provider, house chores, and college with no time to really decompress. 2 nights ago I asked that, if he's gonna be a house husband, that he pulls more weight like the laundry, upkeep of the inside, and outside of the house, because he is just playing games all day and not working. He told me that was unfair, since he cooked 3 times the past week. I had to explain to him, as if he was a baby, why he should do more around the house. He still thinks that's unfair. On top of him not doing more around the house, I have to mother him to even take the trash out, or register his new car he just bought. I'm tired of being his mother wife, and not getting much, except tiny favors once every 2 weeks in return. I'm at a loss of what to do now. How can I approach this issue with him, or how can I solve his lack of help? Any help is appreciated. Thank you in advance. I, 28F, think my husband, 33M, might have only married me to take care of him and his kids. I met my now husband when I was 26. We dated for a year before getting engaged, 4-month engagement, and married. He told me he had kids on our first date, which I was a little nervous about as I'm child-free. As we got closer and more serious I wasn't too worried about the kids as he did a really good job parenting them and being responsible. He also told me he didn't have papers, which didn't bother me, because I personally think the whole US immigration system is fucked up, and I've known many people who spent years getting their papers situated. Anyway, everything went really well while we were dating. He took excellent care of the kids, cooked so I would have dinner after school and work. I'm in grad school, and at the time, worked a part-time job, kept his house clean, the whole 9 yards. We also went on dates frequently. He would buy me flowers, get me wine or drinks, listen to my rants and excited stories about grad school, pay attention to my likes, and agree whenever I'd say my cat or snake were so cute. However, things started changing after we got married, and I moved in. I quit my part-time job, since we could live on his salary and my assistantship salary. He wanted to start a business, so I ended up starting the business in my name. Given his citizenship status, I ended up doing most the work to get the paperwork going, which I brushed off a bit because of all the personal information, like SSN and whatnot. And since I quit my part-time job, I now do all the administrative work for his business, like tax prep, payroll, sending invoices, paying services, etc. So essentially I quit my part-time job and gained another one. The longer we've been married, the more things seem to be going in a different direction. Now he throws a fit if I ask for help cleaning the house or other inside chores, claiming he works so hard during the day and does some yard work. I always remind him that I work too and always help with the outside chores. He always gets silent, but nothing ever changes. He stopped taking me on dates unless I specifically ask to go out. He stopped buying me flowers, winter drinks, etc. He stopped cooking unless he doesn't want what I've cooked or we have family coming over. And almost worst of all, he's stopped being the responsible parent that does things with and for his kids. Keep in mind all this has happened slowly over time and gotten exceptionally worse since we bought and moved into a house. I feel used. Plus over time he's acting more and more like he's entitled to my body, stating likes like I bought you, and but we are married. When I tell him those things are inappropriate, he always says he's just joking, to which I say it's not funny. He also has stopped caring about what I have to say. He doesn't listen to my rants or excitements anymore, and when I say my cat or snake did something cute, he says it's just a cat snake, which is not what he used to do. Anyway, it feels like I'm being used and like it just keeps getting worse, and there's a small chance I might be pregnant. I need to buy a new test, which further complicates the matter. Is he using me, or is this just what it means to be a wife? Edit, formatting, update. I did not expect all the comments that I got. Thank you everyone for your input. At this point I believe I have read all the comments, though I'm sure I've missed some. Overall the consensus is that this is abuse, dangerous, and that I need to get out. It's a lot to process and take in. I've contacted a few friends and will be seeking help from my parents to get legal advice as I don't have much stashed away being a grad student with student debt as well. In the meantime, I will also try talking to him because maybe he doesn't know and it's a cultural thing. I will think long and hard about what I will say and how I will approach this method because I do want to heed the warning that this could very easily escalate. I will also reach out to some city and campus resources as well.